I couldn't lift my arms. I couldn't turn my head. My body felt like it had been poured into the floor and hardened there. But my mind was awake. Sharp. Alert. Terrified. Beside me, my son Noah lay unnaturally still. I could hear his breathing, slow, shallow, but it was there. That sound alone was the only thing keeping me from panicking. Then I heard my husband's voice. Low, calm, almost relieved. It's finished, he said quietly. They won't wake up. Every muscle in my body screamed to move, to scream, to grab my child and run. But something deeper, older, held me in place. Don't move. Don't react. Stay alive. I don't know where that calm came from. Maybe from the years I once worked as a medical assistant. Or maybe from the ancient instinct of a mother who knows that one wrong move could cost everything. When his footsteps faded down the hallway, I leaned my mouth as close as I could to Noah's ear and breathed the quietest words of my life. Stay still. Not yet. Just hours earlier, our life looked ordinary. Not perfect, but familiar. I'm Hannah. I'm 39 years old. A mother. And until recently, a wife. Noah is 11. Bright, curious, always asking questions that catch adults off guard. He notices things most people miss. The kind of child who studies faces more than screens. My husband, Mark, used to adore that about him. Used to. Somewhere over the past year, Mark changed. The warmth drained out of him. Conversations turned shallow. Laughter disappeared. He was home less, guarded his phone like it held state secrets, and always seemed distracted, like his body was present but his mind had already left. I told myself it was work. Stress. A phase. I wanted peace more than truth. So when he came home early one evening and said, "I'll cook tonight," I took it as hope. A small olive branch. Dinner was simple. Chicken, vegetables, mashed potatoes. The smell was strange. Not bad. Just wrong. I noticed it. Ignored it. We sat together like a normal family. Mark barely touched his food. Just watched us eat, smiling in a way that didn't reach his eyes. Halfway through the meal, the room tilted. Not spinning, sinking. My tongue went numb. My throat felt tight, dry. Across the table, Noah dropped his fork. "Mom," he whispered, "my head feels funny." That was it. Every internal alarm went off at once. This wasn't food poisoning. This was intentional. I stood, or tried to, but my legs gave out. I pulled Noah down with me, gently, turning our collapse into something that looked accidental. And then everything went dark. Except my thoughts. That's when I heard Mark say it. That should do it. I don't know how long we lay there. Seconds feel like hours when you're pretending to be unconscious while someone believes you're dying. Eventually, the front door opened. Then closed. Silence. I waited longer than felt necessary. Then longer still. Finally, I whispered, "Bathroom." Now. We crawled. Dragged ourselves. Every movement felt like pushing through wet cement. I turned on the sink full blast. Noise meant cover. I forced myself to vomit. Noah followed. We didn't stop until there was nothing left. Slowly, the fog lifted. Enough to move. Enough to think. Enough to run. My phone was dead. The landline cut. Planned. We slipped out through the garage and ran barefoot to our neighbor's house. She didn't ask questions. She saw our faces and called emergency services immediately. At the hospital, doctors confirmed it. A heavy sedative. Crushed. Mixed into the food. A dose meant to make our deaths look accidental. If we had slept through it, we wouldn't have woken up. Mark was arrested 2 days later trying to leave the country with false documents. The truth came out after. The affair. The money. The new life that didn't include a wife or a child. We were obstacles. And he tried to remove us. He's in prison now, where he belongs. Noah and I are rebuilding, slowly, quietly, honestly. Some nights my son still checks to make sure I'm breathing. Some mornings I still smell food before I see it. But we're alive. And I learned something I'll never forget. Survival doesn't always look like fighting. Sometimes it looks like stillness. Sometimes it sounds like a whisper. And sometimes, listening to your instincts is the difference between living and disappearing. If you're reading this and something inside you feels off, listen. Your instincts exist for a reason. And they might save your life.